Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with a minute 43 left. We are punting the ball. It's going to be on the black sheet to close out this game. A game that shouldn't have been anywhere near close, but unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys never make it easy. It's kind of amazing, to be honest with you, that the mistakes ended up basically putting us against the 8 ball here. We ended up with too many holding penalties, face mask penalties. You know, this game should have been a blowout in all intents and purposes. We missed 2 field goals, but hopefully we can hold them for a minute 36 and keep them out of the end zone and get a win. You have to say that Dak Prescott definitely answered the bell this time. Dak Prescott, you know what? I think all of the talk and things like that have been motivating him because the way he's come out, I mean, 32 of 36 passes, you can't ask for much more. Had a touchdown pass that was called back. Okay. Clock is at minute 14. Dallas up 26-20. Let's see if we can get this win out of here and go to 12. Hello, Sarah Green. I want to make sure that I say hello to you because I don't want you mad at me. What's going on with this thing? You know, it's penalties. We've just had too many penalties that have set us back. It's stuff that's correctable. You know, it's one thing to have mistakes that are correctable. It's second, if you're something different, if you just don't have the manpower to win. They've proved that they can put pressure on the quarterback. And turnover. The Dallas Cowboy defense has come a long ways. They're getting sacks, they're getting pressure, and they're getting turnovers. I think we got 3 tonight. We came close to getting a 4th one right there. The clock is moving, so this game, hopefully, we're down to 1 play, I believe. 3rd 12. We're down to 2 plays. So 44 seconds left. That's a hold right there. Good Lord. That was a bear hug hold that they were holding on the defensive line. They got away with. You see Winston is getting pounded up. But I got to tell you, man, hey, D, David Irving, he may be that 800-pound gorilla I was talking about, man. He is becoming a beast. That club move that he does, I mean, he is shocking the offensive tackle and blowing him off the line. And he's quick enough to get there and deliver the blow. And here we go. And another pick. That's it. Orlando Scandrick finally gets a pick. Wow. 12-2, guys. Okay. So all that talk, all that noise and everything else was just it. I can't wait to see Stephen A. Smith tomorrow, okay? Dak Prescott, he is a beast. He can move around the pocket. He can run when he has to. He hit, I believe, 9 different receivers. You can't ask for much more than that. Oh, and by the way, he was 88.9% completion rate. I think, I got to remember because I'm getting old and forgetful, he had the record by himself because I think the old record of 70 or more completion percentage in a season was Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Peyton Manning. And I think he had 7. I believe this is number 8. So chalk that up to another record, as well as his 88.9 completions in this game is the 2nd best in NFL history. So all of you guys that say that Dak Prescott is a dink and dunk quarterback, we can't win with him, guys, that may be the rookie that wins the first Super Bowl. So I'm happy as could be. We've got some things we need to correct. I would rather have penalties and dumb plays like that to correct as opposed to just being outmanned. This team, anybody, if they play their game and don't make the mistakes, flat out. Well, you know what? You know, Bill, Stephen A. Smith is doing exactly what ESPN wants. He's getting a reaction. That's why they're moving him from ESPN2 to ESPN1 because their ratings are good because, you know, it's a clown show. And as long as you understand that you're not really getting any football analysis, it is what it is. Like I said, I enjoy the damn thing, and I hate to say it, but you know, I enjoy seeing how often Stephen A. Smith is wrong. I enjoy doing the videos, and I will probably do one tomorrow night. I think I'll wear the bow tie, the Dallas Cowboy bow tie. I need to get a couple more. I got a blue one. I should get a white one as well. But for me, this is all just fun. Yeah, Brad, David Irving is a beast, and he is built kind of like Ed Too Tall Jones. Yeah, Randy Gregory. You know, at this point, I say you don't bother with Randy Gregory. You've got guys that have been there doing the right thing, playing their ass off. And to bring somebody in who has been messing up over and over and over again and letting his team down, to bring him in here now when the team is winning and headed to the playoffs is like rewarding somebody for bad behavior. I say you go with the guys that got you here, and that's the same thing I say about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott got us this far. He got us 12 wins. You play the whole string with who you came to the party with, and that's what I believe. Well, Sarah, I don't know that the debate will ever be over with, but you know, when you complete 32 of 36 passes, no interceptions, you get a win. To me, um, you know, Angel, that's what I said. I think David Irvin may be that 800-pound gorilla that we need. He was just unbelievable, and the fact that he has not played, gets that many snaps, it's fantastic. You couldn't ask for anything more on the defense. And again, if we had just not made the mistakes, so stupid penalties, you know, first downs, and we're getting a hold, or we're getting a face mask. And I believe we gave up a sack or anything tonight, so Doug Free was better on that part of the equation, but I may be wrong. You know, I am getting old and forgetful, and it is kind of late, and me and Jobu have been taking care of that room. Blake, you know, they tell me don't quit my day job. I've got mine in the morning too, and it's 11:30 right now, and I've got to leave about 6:30 in the morning. But I'm so hyped up right now, I can't sleep. So I've got to see the post-game show, and I've got to finish doing a video. So this will just be a quick live stream tonight. But here we go.
You just don't blink. Where did you come by that ability to stay so laser focused?
A lot of things off the field, but I've got great teammates, great coaches that have a lot of trust and believe in me. And I just like to stay focused, stay in the moment, hand this guy off the ball, and let him do what he does.
Well, you didn't just hand off the ball. You were 32 of 36 in the passing game, 8 different receivers. What were you able to take advantage of against this red-hot defense that others haven't been able to?
Guys were just getting open. We've got nothing but playmakers outside, and it makes it easier for me to get them the ball. Line protected great. He ran the ball, took some pressure off the passing game. It was a great night.
New York won again today. The Giants, who have beaten you twice, so they hold the tie break. Knowing that coming into this game with this playoff push ahead, what was the mindset of this team?
Just win. Stay focused, look forward, and just win.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's turn over to Zeke, who, again, another big running night for you. But let's talk about your decision to jump into the Salvation Army pot. What made you decide to do that?
I mean, it's just sitting there right in the end zone, you know. It's a perfect celebration, but I mean, we support the Salvation Army here at the Cowboys. You know, they're one of our biggest partners, so, you know, we have to show them a little bit of love.
Would you do it again? It didn't sound like your coach was really happy about it.
Okay, so unfortunately, you can't see the picture too well. That camera just does not take good pictures with it. But what our defense, you're right, is doing exactly what you want to do. Is you want to be peaking going into the playoffs. And right now, our defense is getting better by the week. All the things that they said our defense couldn't do, put pressure on the quarterback, get sacks, get turnovers, you can throw those out the windows, because the last couple of weeks, I mean, we've got 4 turnovers today, 3 last week. All of a sudden, we're moving up, especially with us not turning over the ball very much. I mean, we've only had 4 interceptions on the season. which is unbelievable. Right now, the team can do a lot, but they've got some stuff to work on. I couldn't feel better about the team. I still question sometimes. They get a little too cute, that double reverse. Um, when you have something that's working, you keep doing it until they can stop it. And running Zeke straight ahead, plowing over them was working. You didn't need to try and get cute with a double reverse, and that almost cost us. Again, we had some other plays that the defense came through when Jason Witten fumbled on that completion that could have very easily ended up being a Tampa Bay score, but the defense came through and held us through our mistakes. So I couldn't be any more proud of the team that I am right now, and this feels really, really good. And so it will be interesting to see what all the talking heads have to say tomorrow. Yeah, we can't settle for. Yeah, I agree with you, Sam, man. We can't settle for field goals in the red zone, and we can't be missing field goals either because we left 6 points on the field because we missed those field goals. God, you mean you really want us to root for the Eagles, Dingo? Oh, man, you realize that the Washington Redskins owe us one right now because that helped their playoff hopes, as Donald Trump would say, bigly. So, Redskins, I expect you to pay some dues to good old Jobu. Talking heads, they lost their voice. Yeah, but I want to see people like Heath Evans who said, "Oh, you've got to make the change to Tony Romo because the rookie, he's just getting unnerved. He's moving around the pocket and everything else and not hitting anybody." So, what do you have to say today, Heath Evans? Anything? We'll see. I guess this week they'll be back on the bus. That, oh yeah, we've been with him the whole time. Yeah, bunch of crap. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys. Woo. Mm, 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 mm. It feels good to be 12-4. It feels good to get this off our back. Oh, how did we make it through last year? Because we now have as many wins as we had losses last year. I'm just trying to remember how bad was that week after week after watching that pathetic team that couldn't score, couldn't stop anybody. To go from 4-12 to 12-2 is just unbelievable. Oh, yeah, I need to check out the NFL Network because, yeah, they'll be singing the praise. And have you noticed how the NFL is a week-to-week league? You can be Green Bay the first half of the season. It was like they need to fire Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers needs to be benched, and now all of a sudden they're the hot team. So it's literally a week-to-week league. Now the only difference in that is the Dallas Cowboys, with the exception of 2 weeks, have been a really good team. So they get on and off the bandwagon of these players and stuff. So it would be kind of interesting to see what they have to say after killing the Cowboys for the last week, saying that the Cowboys are basically imploding, that they're going to lose it. If they don't make a change for Tony Romo, the team will be done. Yeah, it's a bunch of crap. Yeah, I don't really see a whole lot of hope in the Eagles. The Giants, it may end up being us against the Giants because I got to tell you, that defense of the Giants will keep them in any game that they won't need to score a whole lot of points. Yeah, he does make quite a lot of plays, but you're right, he doesn't get talked about much. Yeah, if we had had any kind of an offense last year, we would have been okay. But because our defense actually was a lot better than what people will give them credit for. 11 of the games that the Cowboys played last year were against teams that were ranked in the top 13, including 5 in the top 5. I'm sorry, 3 in the top 5. So when you're looking at the level of competition that they're playing with an offense that couldn't stay on the field, that defense was actually pretty good last year. And you look at Sean Lee, oh my God. Sean Lee is almost like a throwback linebacker these days. He is just lighting it up. Yeah, I've got my PJs on. I've already had my shower and stuff. So when I get finished with you guys, I'm going to just go upstairs, jump in the bed, hug up with my beautiful wife, and just be happy that the Cowboys won and that I'm with her. and dream happy thoughts about the Dallas Cowboys, because I can't wait to see all the talking heads tomorrow. Yeah, we definitely have to throw some love at David Irving. Um, See, now you guys are going to make it hard for me to get off of here tonight, man, because more and more of you guys are joining. Everybody who's just joined in, how about them Cowboys, man? Hats off to the Dallas Cowboys, 12th win of the season, 2 games up on the New York Giants, already in the playoffs, atoning for that game last week. I am loving it. If Jalen Smith, you're right. If Jalen Smith ends up being the real deal next year, that's one other player that you have to worry about drafting. David Irving, Collins, those guys are coming along really well in the line. You have DeMarcus Lawrence, if he can get those nagging injuries. When you start looking around, we are playing with house money next year when it comes to the draft. And if by chance we can trade Tony Romo, get an extra pick there, wow, all of a sudden you can do a lot next year. You have money on the cap. You got draft picks. Your offense, for the most part, is set. You don't need major players. We need an upgrade to tackle. Chaz Green might be that, but he stays injured a lot. Your defense, definitely going to need probably another cornerback. If we can get a great pass rusher, watch out. Couple of free agents, mid-level free agents. Yeah, we can really, really be a team that can dominate for years to come. So I feel great about this season, and I feel great about the future. What's the stadium photo behind me here? That's actually a picture from the old Texas Stadium against the Washington Redskins, and the caption on it is the 23-yard line. That's of course, the great stadium. I even have a piece of the turf that's over there from that stadium in a plaque, and over here I have some pieces of a sign. In fact, I still have the year after it closed, we were in Dallas for a photo shoot with DeMarcus Ware, and me and my wife went over to the old stadium. It was fenced off, and I kind of hopped the fence, and on the ground there were a couple pieces of the letters from the stadium, and I'm picking them up. My wife's like, "Why are you picking those pieces up? That's trash." I'm like, "Honey, this is part of the stadium." I said, "This is history." So I took a bunch of the pieces. I've got one of them over here in a plaque. I made one for my son and one for my dad, and they have those up their house. But I still have a few pieces left. And so what we may do in the future, I may go ahead and make some little plaques or something or other. Maybe get a Jobu jersey in there, get it autographed, and put it in there with a piece of that old stadium, and we'll do some kind of a giveaway. I've got some other stuff I need to give away too. I've got some Jobu T-shirts that are autographed. I think Bill Bates. Who else is in there? Charles Haley. Tyron Smith, and a couple other players. So I've got more stuff than I know what to do with. So I'm gonna do some stuff for you guys, the fans, because I just enjoy trying to give back to everybody else as much as possible. Well, here's what's interesting, because everybody thinks I hate Tony Romo. Up in the corner there's actually a helmet. It's a hard hat, and that's actually signed by Jason Witten and Tony Romo. We got from, I think, was at Jason Witten's football camp, and Tony Romo was there, and a couple other players and things. So I've got some stuff that's kind of cool that I really like having. So hopefully, I'd love a piece like that. Well, I tell you what, Jeffrey, like I said, I'll make pretty much, when you look around in my shop here, like the cabinetry that you see over there, it's all stuff that I built. The locker that I do the Jobu report from, that's a piece I built. So I'll make a nice little case for those little pieces. I'll probably break them into smaller ones, so that way I can kind of spread it around as much as possible, and we'll do some kind of giveaways for it. Yeah, Jobu's hair is getting it's getting a little bit wild. We may have to change it before the Super Bowl. So yeah, but again, we're superstitious, so don't change anything while it's working. Yeah, I can't wait to see Stephen A. Smith either. Um, yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Jobu, tonight is not going to be bad to drink your rum. Mm. Don't think that I'm a drunk, because I don't drink that much, believe it or not. Only when we have a good victory, or only when I truly, truly need it, which isn't that often. Because when I actually drink, I can't work very well the next day. Um, yeah, I think this kills any Tony Romo talk right now, or at least it should have. If it hasn't, it'll never die. But as much as it pains me to say it, I think at the end of the year, if you can't trade Tony Romo, then maybe you release him. One way or the other, it's not healthy for what happened this week with a team that's in the playoffs, a team that was 11-2, to go through all of the drama that we went through because of one loss is just crazy. So what happens if we actually went through a stretch of 2 or 3 games, which is normal in the NFL? What would that be like next year? I don't know that Tony Romo, that it's good for him to want to finish his career like that. I don't think it's good for Dak to always be looking over his shoulder, although it seems like nothing faces Dak. In fact, I think when people doubt him, it focuses him even more. When you hear this guy's story, and a lot of people don't take the time to care to know about him, he's faced a lot of adversity in his life, and pretty much everywhere he's gone, he's been doubted. And all that makes him do is it makes him work harder, makes him more focused, makes him want to succeed even more. And you could see that when he came out this week, he came out on a mission to shut everybody the hell up. And you have to admire that. Even if you're a Tony Romo fan, you have to admire how he came out and played with all of this talking and everything going on. And of course, they say, oh, we block it out. You can't block that out. Not where everybody in the world is talking about it. He's got his friends that are texting him saying, are you okay? So, yeah, to be able to do that kind of performance, then he's my quarterback. That Hennessy gave you a headache. Hey, man, Mr. Chips, stick with the rum. I got to tell you, this Ron Zappa, a Giants fan, turned it on to me. Bob Kelly, one of the first people to take a picture with Jobu. And it's a smooth sipping rum. It's aged like 25 years. You know, you don't have to mix it with anything. I like a little lime in with it, because when I went to his house, he's like, oh, let me pour you a shot. And I was getting ready to throw it down. He's like, hey, man. He's like, don't do that. He said, this is a sipping rum, man. It's really smooth. And, you know, you're right. Hennessy will give me a headache. This rum certainly doesn't. Yeah, well, you know what? I think Lucky, after whatever happened last week that we never really got the full details to it, he is Jobu sexy. Okay. I know he grows on you after a while. Most people say Jobu's ugly, but after a while they get to like him. I'm not sure what's going on with Lucky, because he doesn't seem to quite have it like he did before. Maybe he'll get it back next week or so, but you know, I think after last week, whatever transpired, something's going on that we're not privileged to. Cowboys total yards, I will tell you in just 1 second. I know we were over 400. Analyze box scores. Dak Prescott, 279 yards passing. Team-wise, total yards, 449 to 276. So that'll definitely help our averages right there. 449 yards offense. You can do that against a good defense. Yeah, that's fantastic. Des Bryant came out, played a lot better, still had a couple of drops. Curtis Allen, thank you for actually wanting to see the videos. You guys are the motivation for me to go ahead and do these videos, because the responses to them have been fantastic, and I enjoy talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Zach, thanks a lot for for thanking me. Again, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. And I agree, we got to clean up the penalties. I'm in favor of taking guys that are really nicked up and need a rest guys like DeMarcus Lawrence with the back injuries and things, but I don't think you take everybody off for those 2 games because I look at what the Colts did for years. They would lock it up early, they would rest guys, and then all of a sudden they were out of the playoffs. You looked at teams like the Giants who had to fight their way to get into the playoffs, end up going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. So in a way, I'm kind of glad. I can't believe I'm saying this. In a way, I'm kind of glad that we lost last week, that all of a sudden we have to play. We had to show up tonight and win because right now the Giants are on our heels. So had we won last week, locked up home field advantage, there really wouldn't be anything to play for. You're welcome, Zach. There really wouldn't be anything to play for. And you're talking about more than a month of not playing meaningful football. Would you then be able to turn around and kick it into gear? That's not an easy thing to do. And if you look at the Cowboys after we've had the bye weeks or after we've had that Thursday night game, they start off slow. So I'm all for playing the guys through this. These guys are young. They're in good shape. I say you play them. Sean, your shirt, actually, I put some more in the mail actually yesterday. So hopefully you'll have it next couple of days along with everybody else that ordered them. Hopefully Christmas rush on packages isn't too far behind. I've been really, really busy, so it's been hard for me to get stuff done between my day job, doing videos, doing the T-shirts and stuff. This has gotten to be a lot bigger than what I thought it was going to be when I first started. It was easy just to do a couple little videos here and there, but as I've tried to grow and do more of these videos and things and try and bring a better product to you guys, it's taken a little bit more time, so it's a little harder to get done with just me. And unfortunately, Jobu, although he's a good luck charm, he's not a whole lot of help. I like the commercial. I only saw it on my cell phone, so I actually need to see the whole thing like on a big screen because my eyes are old. 12-2, baby, that's right. That would be great to see Stephen A. Smith wear a. I'm sorry for doubting Dak Prescott, but tomorrow he's going to be walking in. Can we just get this over with? I'm in a bad mood today. Because he's really a genius. I hate to say it because we are all excited about Stephen A. Smith. We just won another game, and we're talking about we can't wait to see Stephen A. Smith cry. He's learned what people want, and he's given it to them. How much money do we get if we win the Super Bowl? Well, here's the thing that's crazy is when you make the playoffs, I think the winning team, I think, gets $54,000 a player. I think the losing team gets like $36,000. So in retrospect, for most guys, that's peanuts in comparison to what they get paid during the season. And which is one of the things that the NFLPA is trying to do, get more money for those games and so on. What do I think about Irving? He is that 800-pound gorilla, that guy that will make quarterbacks piss down their leg when they start thinking about him. When he makes that club move, because basically what he's doing is he's hitting the guy with that hand so hard that it's shocking, and he's making separation. As soon as he does that, he's quick enough to get around. It's a great move. What's the truth, Sarah? Hopefully everything I say is the truth. And that's the thing that's great about I was a nose guard. My signature move, because I was kind of a small nose guard, was called a jab, step, and rip. And what it is you would take a step to the left, the offensive lineman would come with you, and you dip your shoulder and you rip through and go back the opposite way. So it was a speed rush that was able for me to get past bigger guys. And what David Irving is doing is he's keeping the offensive lineman away from being able to get a hand on him. That guy is getting rocked back on his heels, and before he can recover, he's quick enough to get around him. And that is a hell of a move. You'll see some guys that'll do a bull rush where basically I'm just going to run as hard as I can into you and push you back until basically you get off balance, and then I'll get your way. You have the swim move where you'll basically go and you'll go over and you're making a small target for the offensive lineman to hit, and you can get past him by swimming your arm through his body. So it's great that he's developing that move. It's a fantastic move, to be honest with you. And I don't see too many people out there actually doing a move like that. He's big, he's tall, and he's quick. He could become a beast. Yeah, that catch was unbelievable. Even that catch with Sean Lee of this hand and everything else. That game shouldn't have been anywhere close. With it was the mistakes and things that ended up keeping Tampa Bay in it. Yeah, I agree with you on Carr. Carr is, here's the thing. We hadn't had that great of a pass rush, but Carr is having to deal with basically number one guys. Mike Evans is one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. There's a reason why he's one of the top receivers in the NFL. He makes plays. You can't stop him on every single play. But when you look at what this defense has done against great wide receivers, the exception of Odell Beckham taking that slant to the house, what number one receiver has had a great game? Antonio Brown didn't. Mike Evans didn't have a great game. Odell, other than that one play in those two games, didn't. The Dallas Cowboys defense is a legitimate defense. If we can get Morris Claiborne back, that secondary all of a sudden is really, really good, and you actually have some depth in there. And now we're getting a pass rush. Yeah, we could be in really good shape come playoff time. We're not talking about Romo tonight, and I think that this game should kill any Romo talk. I'm sure to the chagrin of most of the talking heads out there. And I'm with you on that. From 4-12 to 12-2, we do not have anything that we can complain about with this season. Forget that Tony Romo got hurt. Let's say during summer camp we said that the Dallas Cowboys would go 12-4 with Tony Romo. Would you guys be happy? I mean, seriously, that would be unexpected for us to be that good. But yet here we are with a rookie fourth-round quarterback. Yeah, I mean, the defense did their job. We let them stay in the game is the only problem. Well, Desi, as far as looking for another team, he's going to be suspended next year, so he's just going to be sitting, period. I think actually if he end up getting suspended next year, the Cowboys might go ahead and just release him. I would like to well, car stickers or okay. Somebody mentioned keychains for Jobu. A lot of you guys have been asking about that, but I haven't been trying to do this to make money. For me, it's fun and it's just spreading the mojo. I've had a few people ask about getting a Jobu doll, and unfortunately, it's actually quite a bit of work for you to make it because I've actually handmade him. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do that where I can make a bunch of them at the same time. So we'll work on figuring out something that we can do to help spread the mojo with you guys. So maybe his flask, actually I've got those custom made. Maybe we do something like that because it's a nice keychain or something or other. But we'll figure out something. A 3D printer. Okay, but does a 3D printer do the same thing for spreading the mojo? How do I feel about the turnovers? I would have rather we didn't have the 3 last week on the offense, but the defense is getting the ball, so I can't complain. Victoria, well, a lot of people want a piece of Jobu, especially some of those Eagle fans and Redskin fans. They definitely want pieces. They want to put them in a wood chipper, but that's another story. Have each replica of Jobu certified. That's an idea. See, hold on for 1 second here. I'll show you. Oh, boy, I'm getting old. This is actually Jobu's cousin, who's not too bright. He's actually a Philadelphia Eagles fan, as you can tell with the one tooth. I actually made him as a joke too, and I actually had one other one that I actually started because people had said that Jobu needs a girlfriend, so there's actually Jolene. But then I started thinking that Jobu doesn't really need a nag, and he basically belongs to the world. So he's a player. You can't have a player tied down. So like I said, for me, it's fun. So I guess I'm kind of like he's Pinocchio, and I'm Pinocchio's maker, I guess. Jolene, yeah. Well, the funny thing is, a lot of times when some of the new fans come in, they'll say, "Man, you're great talking on the show. Lose the damn doll." And I'm kind of like, the doll is the reason why most people ever found me, because before I did Jobu, I only had a couple hundred friends on Facebook, and nobody gave a damn about what I thought about. But Jobu became the star, and a lot of things. I'm going to be honest, and it's going to sound crazy, but a lot of great things have happened with that damn doll. I met Tyron Smith in 2014. 2 days later, he got his big contract. Now, I can't say that Jobu had anything to do with it, but it's a nice coincidence. The summer of 2014, we also met Tony Romo. We recreated the scene for Major League in his locker. Now, if you've done the tour in Dallas, they always tell you, don't touch the locker, don't sit on or anything else. Well, we're in the locker room. I put Jobu in the locker. I pull out a shot glass, set it down. I've got the flask. I poured some rum. I put my camera behind it, and I'm sitting in front of the locker. I've got my friend over here, and we're literally filming and recreating the scene. The security guys are just watching and laughing and having a ball with this. So the fact that we even got away with doing that was kind of a testament, or kind of surprising. And the amount of people that I've met and have taken a picture with Jobu, it's been amazing for me. It's been fun as could be. And it seems like every time we've met a player, something good has happened with them. We were at the draft talking about Dak Prescott to draft him. And literally from the moment that Dak Prescott's jersey has been on Jobu, Dak Prescott has been playing lights out. Again, I can't say that Jobu had anything to do with it. I can just say, honestly, that good things happen with Jobu. That's all I can say for sure. Nah, because no, we're not going to burn his cousin, because he's doing exactly what we want the Eagles to do, implode. Because since he's been around, the Eagles have done absolutely nothing. I made him the year that they 2 years ago with Chip Kelly. I'm not so mad about the Redskins getting the. Listen. Right now, it's about us, and we need to go get home field advantage. If we have to beat the Redskins, we have to beat the Redskins. David Irving is definitely a monster. I hate to say it, but Romo fans aren't going to go back into the cave. They're going to come up with some excuse that, oh, well, he didn't throw any touchdown passes, or, he was still missing guys. It's always an excuse that comes up. And, Joe, this isn't targeted towards you, Joe Pittman. But there are some of those guys in there. It doesn't matter what you say. They're still going to say, no, Romo's a better quarterback, flat out. They will ignore any of the statistics or any of the play on the field. They will forget about all the bad things that may have happened. And it's no use in even trying to argue with them. Romo fan here. Oh, my God. Ruben, you know what? Hats off to you, man. We had a Romo fan, Ruben, right here, who just admitted he was wrong. Thank you, Mike. Like I said, I just try and tell it like it is. I'm old enough that I've seen a lot of football. I've played a lot of football, and I try and bring you guys the real deal, because there's so much misinformation out there. It's just ridiculous. 5 rings, I pray that you have to change your name to 6 rings, because there would be nothing better. I have literally been to the last 14 Super Bowls. And in that time, I have seen the Steelers go. I've seen New Orleans win them. I've seen the Patriots too many times. I've seen the Eagles even at a Super Bowl. How pathetic is that? That I have seen the Philadelphia Eagles in Jacksonville at a Super Bowl, yet I have never seen the Dallas Cowboys live at one. And we have to change that this year. And there's nothing I would enjoy better than bringing you guys Super Bowl coverage of the Dallas Cowboys from Houston. That is my dream. Oh, yeah. Where is James Wright? James Wright, are you out there? Yeah, he sure did. And see, James, I'm trying to understand his game because his whole thing is as soon as Dak struggles, he's flat out saying, yeah, I told you Tony Romo's the better. We need Tony Romo. The rookie is blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, I don't see anything from him tonight. Which on the defense, it's definitely going to be Sean Lee. I think on the offensive line, we're going to have the usual ones: Zach Martin, Frederick. I think Ron Leary actually could be for the way he's played. Tyron Smith, although Tyron Smith with nagging injuries that may not be there, but we'll see. Dak Prescott definitely, and Zeke are definitely going to be there. Wide receivers wise, I don't know that any of them are going to necessarily be there unless it's because other guys don't want to show up. Who's the unsung blue collar player on our team? Tonight it was definitely David Irving. I would actually say Sean Lee because Sean Lee does not get the publicity that other players do in the NFL. For him to be making the amount of tackles and playing the way he is, I don't think he gets that much credit throughout the NFL. Man, you guys are going through so quick, I can't keep up with the comments. I think I've got to look at the total, but going into tonight, he had 56 in the last 3 games. So over 150 tackles should be right. And you look at how he's moving, and when he's hitting guys, I mean, he's literally working his way through there. He is hitting them square up and not letting guys go. He's not missing tackles at all. Tony Romo does that. Now let's give credit where credit's due. We did have that 13-3 season in 2007, the year he went to Cabo, and lost in that first round, which was the first time a #1 seed lost their first game. So if Dak wins one more game, he'll have tied Tony Romo's best season. Well, Kenny, I actually said a couple of years ago that Sean Lee is a great athlete, but he's not big enough to take on the run blocking that you do as the middle linebacker. On the weak side, you utilize his skill where he's playing in the slot more, he's doing more pass coverage, and he's chasing people down as opposed to having to be the front stopper. If Irving keeps coming on like he's coming on, Collins keeps playing well, and we can get guys healthy, that defense is going to be playing really well come playoff time. Brandon Carr, I think, God, Carr is not as bad as people think he is. He ends up having to cover a lot of great receivers. Wow, guys, you know it's 12 o'clock, right? And you do know I have a day job. And unfortunately, I can't quit my day job. You know, my boss is actually an asshole. So I need to make sure I'm there. So as much as so many of you guys online right now, damn, I hate to end this, especially when the Cowboys win, but I do have to get up and go to work. I will have sorry, Mark. Don't be sorry. I'm glad I have a job these days. But don't worry. Tomorrow morning before I go out, we'll have morning coffee. We'll have Jobu's hangover. We'll recap everything, find out who got hurt, whatever. I'm fired. Sorry, guys. I know I belong to the world, but I got to go ahead and be ready for work, man. But you guys are freaking incredible. I can't say enough about you guys. You guys are the MVP for the season for me. And this has just been a freaking incredible year for our Dallas Cowboys. It's almost like a dream that I don't want to wake up from because it seems like In the past years, there were always ways that our Dallas Cowboys would lose games, but somehow this year, it's like we're never out of a game. We are always in there to the end, and we find ways to win, which to me has just been amazing. Um, the team seems like they have turned everything around. They have a new focus. They seem to be right now a team of destiny. So you can't ask for anything more than that. Hopefully, we'll have some luck where the ball will bounce our way come playoff times, and maybe we can go all the way. And if we don't, it's still been a magical season. So I'm Mark Holmes. It's Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting the Jobu Report. And I'll see you guys in the morning.